Thank you, Lenka. I appreciate everything that you're doing here at Sisters. And I myself joined last year and started getting into it more heavily this year. And I really am thankful and grateful for everything, all the outreach and the impact that Sisters has on women in tech. Just to introduce myself, my name is Korene Stuart, and I am the director of MassCode, which is a 501c3 nonprofit organization. And what we do are we help to get and encourage students, not only students, but also adults into more STEM roles, because the future, as we know it, is going to change the job landscape. The jobs that we see nowadays are going to change radically within the next 5 to 10 years. So we are STEM advocates, and we also believe in financial education, especially for our underserved minority communities. So that's what we do. And just for a little bit about personally myself, back in 2016, well, I had got into coding beforehand, but didn't really take it seriously until 2016. I am a self-taught programmer. I taught myself all of the basics, which is like web development, that type of programming. And then I got into a program and just graduated in regard to Java development. So I've just been steadily building my skills over the past about 2 to 3 years. And it's been a great ride. And I encourage everyone that I know to actually go out there and see how your world is changing, see how you can be a better fit to it, which brings us to this topic of social and civic engagement as a tech worker. So when I originally started coding, which was many years ago, there were not, a lot of the resources that exist today did not exist at that time. They were very hard to find. And with that knowledge, in 2016, when I started getting into more tech-related learning and e-learning, I started seeing that a lot of the things that I was learning, I could also teach to students and adult learners as well. And maybe that would encourage them into going into some of these roles that will need to be fulfilled in the later years. And you know, we want people with all type of experience and all type of backgrounds to not just be consumers of tech, but also to be creators of tech. Because that we understand that a more diverse workforce creates more inclusive products when it comes to the marketplace. Okay, so here you see you can email me, you can go to my website. I'm also on Instagram as the Unconventional Coder. If you need that, I can put that in the questions and answers afterwards. Okay, so I don't want to assume that everyone knows what it means to be socially and civically engaged, so I just wanted to include some definitions. So to be socially engaged means meaningful interactions, participation, or involvement in a community or society. And of course, meaningful means, you know, what is your level of participation? What is your type of participation in the community that you live in or adjacent communities? And then what does it mean to be civically engaged? It's working to make a difference in the civic life of your communities, developing the combination of knowledge, skills, and values and motivation to make that difference, promoting the quality of life in a community through both political and non-political processes. So being civically engaged does not mean that you have to be political. You know, you don't even have to think about that when you're going to be civically engaged. Civically engagement, you care about what your community is doing, you know, how the rules, how the processes of your community affect people, right? And I just wanted to include this. This is something that that really resonated me. It's a quote by Nick Hanauer. He is one of the early investors in Amazon, and he you know, has gone on after the investment to start some really great tech companies and to sell them. But with every company, every product that he makes, he keeps in mind how this will affect the communities that you know, are these consumers that are the consumers of these products. And it reads, with every tech innovation, you also get disruption, ultimately social and civic disruption. So with every technology that is created, there is someone who is going to be positively affected and someone who's going to be negatively affected. And I don't think that we always keep that in mind when we are creating some of the products that we're creating, okay? So I just wanted to talk about some of the groups that are left behind when we're talking about tech disruption, both socially and civically. Roughly 2/3 of new jobs created since 2010 require either high or medium level digital skills, which is 30%, and that requires highly digital skills. Digitally intensive middle skill jobs pay more than non-digital middle skill jobs. So that means that there are a lot of people being left out on the income scale. You know, they don't have a chance or opportunity to get some of those higher levels of income that tech brings. As the top level of highly digital skills grow more advanced, the gap grows, not allowing the lower tier to catch up. So the more time that we the top level is creating all of these highly digital skilled jobs, and the lower sector is trying to catch up, it just, the gap just expands. All right, and then the affected groups in the US, women made up 50% of the college educated workers in 2010, but only 28% of the science and engineering workers. And then only 7.74% are African Americans, and only 8% are Hispanic of all those science and engineer workers. All right, and then also I wanted to talk a little bit about role models, because that does play into being civically and socially engaged. People working in tech are not represented by the majority risk feeling othered. So the consequence of being isolated is a lack of confidence and a reluctance to ask for the kind of work that build the skills, experiences, and visibility needed to reach your career goals. A role model can show you the path and opportunities that are out there. They can share experiences, ideas, and the stamina to pursue your goals because they are proof that it's possible to reach them. So just to say that in a nutshell, what that means is that I need to be able, as a kid, to see someone who is similar to me, who may have the same background as me, the same culture as me, who looks like me, to feel that I'm able to attain those same goals. And I just wanted to back up a little bit, because I did want to talk about the problem that we have in tech, about the disruption. The power of technology has accelerated exponentially, and it lands us into a precarious time where we can now see some of the disastrous effects of technological advances, such as those who are left behind, electronic waste, cyber hacking, automation, and polarization. And companies are attempting to solve the issue, but programs and awareness are not changing it fast enough. So for example, there's only been a 1% increase in Black and Latino tech workers in the last decade. Okay, so, you know, that goes to say that companies can't do it alone. We need each individual to be able to go out there in their communities or their adjacent communities and spend their time, even if you're touching one person or making an impact on one person, it'll make effect on the whole. Okay. All right. All right, so volunteering, you know, just to talk about, because I think that sometimes what happens that people get overwhelmed when they go to see, what can I do? You know, they're always asking, what can I do? And then, you know, you have all these possibilities, or maybe they don't know, maybe they don't know the community that they live in. And maybe it's hard for them to reach out to someone to find out where to go. Because I do know that, you know, tech workers, some of them are not able to network as much as they would like to. But we all have a civic and social duty to at least affect one person in our community. So let's talk about the benefits of volunteering and being civically and socially engaged. So number one, volunteering connects you to others. One of the more well-known benefits of volunteering is the impact on the community. It allows you to connect to your community and make it a better place. Even helping out with the smallest task can make a real difference to the lives of people. And that's something that I love to do. I am a lead here in Miami for Black Girls Code. Whenever I recruit people, because I'm big on recruiting for volunteering, they always ask me, I'm not a coder, so I can't volunteer. And I'm like, no, that's not true. You know, we need someone for everything that we're doing, whether it has something to do with someone signing up a volunteer or signing up a kid when they come into the room, helping with lunches maybe, helping with some of the admin tasks that comes before the event. You know, there are some very basic things that all volunteers can do. So no task is too small. And volunteering is a two-way street. It can benefit you and your family as much as the cause you choose to help. Dedicating your time as a volunteer helps you make new friends, expand your network, and boost your social skills. All right, and number two, volunteering is good for your mind and body. When we're talking about volunteering, you know, there are some really great health benefits that they found of people who volunteer. It really is a benefit to both your mental and physical health. It helps to counteract the effects of stress, anger, and anxiety. Because when we're doing something for someone else, even if we ourselves are not feeling the best, we're not in the best mood, when you do something for someone else, it really is a positive effect on your health. The social contact aspect of helping and working with others can have a profound effect on your overall psychological well-being. And working with pets or other animals, because when I'm speaking about volunteering both civically and socially, I'm not just talking about helping someone to code or helping someone in the tech industry. I'm talking about overall. And working with pets and other animals has also been shown to improve mood and reduce stress and anxiety. Volunteering helps you keep in regular contact with others, helps you develop a solid support system, which in turn protects you against depression. And then it makes you happy. By measuring hormones and brain activity, researchers have discovered that being helpful to others delivers immense pleasure. Human beings are hardwired to give to others. So the more we give, the happier we feel. And volunteer also increases self-confidence. If you're doing good for others in the community, it gives you a natural sense of accomplishment. Your role as a volunteer also gives you a sense of pride and identity. And the better you feel about yourself, the more likely you are to have a positive view of your life and future goals. It gives you a sense of purpose. So older adults, especially those who have retired or lost a spouse, can find new meaning and direction in their lives by helping others. Whatever your age or life situation, volunteering can help your mind, take your mind off of your own worries, keeping you mentally stimulated and add more zest to your life. And it also helps you stay physically healthy. Studies have found that those who volunteer have a lower mortality rate than those who do not. Yeah. And then older volunteers tend to walk more, finding easier to cope with everyday tasks, and are less likely to develop high blood pressure and have better thinking skills. Volunteering can also lessen symptoms of chronic pain and reduce the risk of heart disease. So as you can see, there are a lot of benefits to volunteering. And then also volunteering can help advance your career. So if you're considering a new career or maybe a new role, even in the very place that you work now, volunteering can help you get experience in your area of interest and meet people in the field. And even if you're not planning on changing careers, volunteering gives you the opportunity to practice important skills used in the workplace, such as teamwork, all those soft skills that everyone's talking about now. It'll help you polish those type of skills. And you might feel more comfortable stretching your wings at work once you've honed these skills in a volunteer position first. And it also teaches you valuable job skills. So just because volunteer work is unpaid doesn't mean that what you learn are basic. Many volunteer opportunities provide extensive training. So say for instance, if you wanted to volunteer at a women's shelter, you can get those type of trainings through those organizations. And especially when it comes to tech, I find that some of my most valuable skills have been really honed when I start to volunteer, because they say that when you're learning a new skill, the best thing that you can do is try to teach it to someone else. Okay, and so volunteer offers you the chance to try out a new career without making a long-term commitment. It's also a great way to gain experience in a new field. In some fields, you can volunteer directly at an organization that does the kind of work that you're interested in. And your volunteer work might also expose you to professional organizations or internships that could benefit your career. Meaning you can go and volunteer at a company and then get some valuable skills. Maybe you can meet some people, network with some professional people that will help you get to the next level of your career. All right, and then also volunteering brings fun and fulfillment to your life. It's a fun and easy way to explore your interests and passions without, no strings attached. It helps you to find meaningful and interesting ways to relax, to energize and escape from your day-to-day routine of work, school, or family commitments. It also provides you with a renewed creativity, motivation, and vision that can carry over into your personal and professional life. Many people volunteer in order to make time for hobbies outside of work as well. So for instance, if you have a desk job and long to spend time outdoors, you might consider volunteering to help plant a community garden, walk dogs for an animal shelter, or help out at a children's camp. And you also have to consider your goals and interests when you're volunteering, because remember, it's a two-way street. And there's nothing better than volunteering for an organization where you know that you're having an impact, but you're also gaining some valuable skills because of it. So what can I do to help? And I just wanted to caution people as well when they're trying to commit to volunteering for an organization. Just because you're unpaid, that doesn't mean that they're not dependent on you being there. So you want to make sure that you answer some of these hard questions before you jump into it, which is you need to identify how much time you can spare. You need to identify what are your skill levels. Because you never want to go into a volunteer situation where there are some skills required and you don't have that knowledge, because you're not really helping anyone if you don't have the knowledge and both of you are kind of like, just going through it. And then how long can you commit to this? What type of commitment are you willing to make? And I just wanted to caution you as well, don't be overwhelmed by that question, because sometimes organizations only need you for one day or a couple of hours. And even if you have 2 hours on a Saturday, you're still able to give of your time to someone, to make an impact to someone. And don't do it by yourself. So we have a lot of companies now. It's starting to be a trend, and I'm glad that it started to be a trend, where companies are requiring their employees to give up their time. Some of them do pay the employees a small stipend, and then some of them do require them just to give up their time. And I don't know, the legality of it, of how you can require someone to give your time, but you don't have to wait on your company to start an initiative where they're volunteering with the organization to give their time. You can start it. You can go to your boss or your supervisor and say, listen, I know an organization and they're working on this or working on that, or I have an idea, can I get a team together to help me bring this vision to fruition? And then, try to execute it within a given time. Give yourself a deadline. Ask your family members, your friends to become a part of it, because that's where the fun comes in and the purpose comes in and the mission comes in, when you can do it together with someone that you love and you adore, and you're actually making an impact on your communities or the communities that are adjacent. And because I am a tech worker, and this presentation could be applied to any industry, because there are so many organizations that need help. They need people. It's just a plethora of organizations that you can step out your door and find that need people. And they don't just need people who have experience with small skills. They need people who have more advanced skills, maybe to help them organize their organization to make it more efficient, to help serve the community. So these are some of the organizations that I did find, and I wanted to specifically give them to you. If you have an urge or a need to reach out, you have a desire to reach out to an organization to volunteer. These are some of the organizations that I actually know about. Maybe I know someone who's actually volunteered with them, or I encountered them somewhere. But these are some of the websites that you can go to, and you'll see these websites later. They'll be posted when they post the presentation, so you don't have to write it down now. Black Girls Code is one of the organizations that I deal with. I've volunteered for Habitat Humanity. Code for America, and Code for America is the national umbrella. They have Code for America in Miami and Fort Lauderdale, and I'm sure there's some in, that may be close to you. But Code for America, just to touch on them for a little bit, they do a lot of civic engagement. And I don't know if you've ever heard of Clear My Record, and I think that's in California, where they're helping the city government to automatically clear the records of some of these people who were convicted of crimes that are past crimes that are no longer crimes. And that's helped tremendously with helping people to move on with their lives. Because again, you have all this creation of tech, there has to be a disruption. There has to be a good and a bad. And that's some of it. So, and then Women Who Code, that's an organization that I absolutely love as well. And then you have AnitaB.org, AnitaB.org and Sisters, which they have a GitHub where they have projects that you can help them with if you're a programmer. And then you have some of these organizations, just their only duty is to help you find an organization to volunteer with. So there's a lot of resources out there, and I really hope that through this presentation someone can reach out and begin to find all of those benefits that I just spoke about. All right, and also are included are some references, because I love to tell people, whenever I speak, whenever I present, this is nothing about opinion. These are hard numbers that I've researched. And there are studies that will back up everything that I just said, because I don't believe in just giving my opinion and that's it. So these are references that you can actually go to find some of the numbers that I included in my presentation. And I thank you so much for participating in my talk. And if you have any questions, I'm ready.